Do you ever feel trapped in an endless loop of worry, procrastination, or self doubt? You try to change, but your brain seems hardwired, running the same old toxic program every single time. It feels like you're powerless against your own mind. What if I told you that the feeling of being stuck is an outdated idea? What if you are not a victim of your biology, but the chief architect of your mind? We are diving deep into neuroplasticity, the scientific proof that you can literally rewrite your brain's internal code. This isn't abstract theory. This is a manual. We'll use a powerful three-part system. 1. The science why it works. 2. The problem how the old code formed. 3. The solution the awareness detachment creation protocol. For decades, science told us the brain was fixed. That belief kept millions stuck. Today, we know the truth. Your brain is a dynamic, constantly evolving supercomputer. The key mechanism behind how your mind shapes your reality is Hebb's law, the principle that neurons that fire together wire together. This isn't just a scientific slogan. It's the blueprint of how habits, emotions, and patterns of thought become automatic. Imagine your brain as a vast snowfield. Every thought you repeat is like walking the same path through that snow. The first time, it's just a faint mark. The fifth time, it becomes a visible trail. The 100th time, it turns into a deep, carved out rut. So deep that you start following it automatically, even without thinking. Negative thinking, anxiety, overthinking, these aren't random. They're paths you've walked too many times. So the real work isn't simply stopping the old thoughts. Your brain doesn't delete paths. The real work is training yourself to walk a new path often enough that it becomes the new default. When you consistently focus on better thoughts, calmer reactions, and intentional behavior, you're literally rewiring the structure of your brain. You're carving a new trail, one that's clearer, stronger, and leads you somewhere better. In neuroscience, this is not motivation, it's neuroplasticity. Your brain becomes what you repeatedly do. Structural plasticity means your brain changes physically, not metaphorically, not motivationally, but biologically. When you learn a new habit, a new reaction, or a new way of thinking, your brain starts building new pathways between neurons. Think of it like a city adding new highways to connect places that were never linked before. A neuron fires more, its axon grafts a pathway is used again and again, it strengthens a new behavior, is repeated, actual new brain tissue forms. So what does this mean? The change you're trying to make in your life isn't just in your head, it's a real, measurable physical process. Your brain is literally reshaping itself to support the person you're becoming. That's why change feels hard at first. The brain is still building the road. But with repetition, the pathway gets faster, the behavior gets easier, and the new version of you becomes your default. The brain's highest priority isn't happiness, it's efficiency. The old negative code sticks around not because it's useful, but because it's the fastest, cheapest program to run. Your mind will always choose the familiar route even if it's destructive because it burns the least energy. But here's the part most people never realize: automatic programming is not destiny. The moment you introduce a new thought, a new pattern, a new response, your brain is forced to update the code. At first, it feels uncomfortable, slow, even wrong because you're asking your brain to spend more energy building new pathways. But every repetition is a vote for the person you want to become. Use the new code enough times, and the brain will do what it always does: optimize it, automate it, and turn it into your new default. This is how real change happens, not overnight, but physically, neuron by neuron. It's choosing what's familiar, and that's the hard truth most people miss. If what's familiar to you is overthinking, self doubt, or constant worrying, your basal ganglia will automate it, not because it's good, but because it's easy. Your brain isn't rewarding the habit, it's rewarding the certainty that comes with it. That's why the solution isn't try harder. Willpower can't beat a system designed to run on autopilot. The real fix? Interrupt the loop. Even a 10-second interruption is enough to break the script and teach your brain a new pattern to follow. One interruption repeated daily becomes the beginning of a completely different life. We carry an ancient software glitch in our brain called the negative bias. It's the reason you can hear 10 compliments and one insult, and somehow, the insult is the only thing that sticks. Think of your brain like this. For positive news, it's Teflon. For negative news, it's Velcro. This isn't a flaw, character, it's biology. Thousands of years ago, noticing danger kept you alive. Missing a berry wasn't a problem, but missing a snake? That could end everything. So your brain evolved to prioritize threats, losses, and worst case scenarios automatically. The problem? We don't live in the wild anymore, but the brain still acts like we do. So today, that same system fuels chronic worry, overthinking, self-criticism, applying mysticus, expecting the worst, feeling never enough. Your brain isn't trying to make you anxious. It's trying to keep you safe using an outdated survival algorithm. The good news? Anything the brain learns, it can unlearn and rewrite. Neuroscience shows that when you teach your mind to look for progress, solutions, and opportunities, you literally change the wiring that the negative bias runs on. You're not broken, you're running prehistoric code, and you can update it. These three are cognitive biases, thinking errors, automatic shortcuts your brain uses that feel real but produce inaccurate conclusions. They're not objective facts about the world. They're buggy lines in your mental program. Fix the lines and the program behaves better. You can't change what you can't see. In the world of mindset and behavior, awareness is the flashlight. It illuminates the hidden code running in the background. Before you can rewrite any pattern, you must first observe it. When you step outside your automatic mental program, you stop acting as the code and start acting as the programmer. Thoughts become data, not directives. They pass through your awareness like lines on a screen, something to be examined, not obeyed. This shift from identification to observation is the first and most powerful step in mental mastery. Awareness gives you the distance you need to question old patterns, interrupt harmful loops, and rewrite the internal code that shapes your decisions, emotions, and outcomes. In short, awareness turns unconscious programming into conscious choice. This is where you deliberately redirect your brain and begin writing the new neural pathway. You're not pretending or lying to yourself, you're upgrading the code. If the old script was, I'm not good enough, the adaptive replacement becomes, I'm capable of learning, improving, and getting better with consistent effort. This reframes the situation with accuracy and growth rather than fear and limitation. Over time, repeating this updated interpretation trains your brain to default to healthier, more productive patterns because you've given it a new route to run.